Hello everyone and welcome to this new series. Now if you don't know already, and I'm assuming you do since you clicked on this video, this is not your grandpa's Minecraft. No sir, this is the beautiful Terrafirmacraft. Now, this video isn't going to be just a let's play. I wanted to do something a little bit different. If you're new to my channel, I'm actually a indie game developer. You can check out my devlogs if you're interested. And I'm going to be tackling this game from a game design perspective. I want to talk about my thoughts about the game from the choices made by the developer to provide the player with a compelling experience. And I am calling this a game, even though it's a mod for Minecraft, because things are so completely different. You can already tell these are leaves on the ground, these trees are different, there's different kinds of trees. Now, right away, you can see me picking up these little stones. Now, the main difference between Terrafirmacraft and Minecraft is that Terrafirmacraft aims to provide a very realistic experience. What does that mean? Well, I ain't gonna be finding iron today, that's for sure, for starters. Now, yeah, so in normal Minecraft, I would be, punching down a tree. I can punch this tree all day long, it's not coming down. Because trees don't come down if you just punch them, you guys. You have to make an axe. Alright, so how do you do that? Well, with these little stones, I can right-click them, and I can start making stone tools. Now you see here, well, first of all, there's actually different kinds of rocks right away. So you have gabbro rock, right? You have different kinds of trees, you have regions. You can see down here in the bottom right of my screen, it shows you my my temperature. So I'm actually in the light blue. I'm cold, so I have to deal with that. I'm gonna have to deal with the winter. I'm gonna have to find food. This is really survival mode as it should have been, you guys. So anyways, back to the stone. I'm going to actually chip off some of these little flakes here. Now this in real life is called Flint Knapping. You can't really do this with any old rock in real life, but you actually shave off little chunks by hitting rocks to create a stone axe head. And there's little flakes here. Now by itself, obviously this isn't going to be good enough. I need some sort of stick. Now one of the great things about Minecraft is how engaging its crafting system is, right? Compared to a game like I don't know, The Witcher or Skyrim, which are, well, The Witcher is a great game. Skyrim, debatably. Their crafting is, you just have a list, and if you have the right items, you will be able to select that item from the list. Now you see I was just finding sticks by chopping these leaves down, and it's already getting kind of late. It looks like. You can actually check what time it is. So yeah, it's hour 16 or 18, so it's 6 o'clock in the evening. So I better begin to hunker down quickly. If you destroy grass, you get straw. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to be losing my train of thought quite a bit as we go through this, if you don't mind. Now where was I? The crafting system is very engaging, that's right. So in Minecraft, you actually have a oh, there's a lot of burning monsters here for some reason. That's not good. I do not want to die on my first night, which might be a bit of an interesting first episode for you guys. Okay. So, as I try to find some shelter, I'll continue my train of thought about crafting. In this game, have a lot of very active means. I'm getting shot. Very active means of crafting. So you are very involved in the crafting itself. Oh, I have a little waypoint here for onions. Very good. So we'll be set for food for a little while. Yeah, I went through this area a little bit earlier. That's why it's so late. So early into the game. Oh, I'm getting destroyed by the zombie. Yeah, so Terrafirmacraft is much more dangerous. But yeah, so one of the examples of that active crafting system that really engages you is the Flint Knapping. If you didn't know the recipe for that, you'd have to think about it, and it would be pretty intuitive. Let's see if there's some brightness settings here. I want to make sure that you guys can see this pretty well. Let's see here. Brightness. Let's make it nice and bright. Alright. So I'm probably going to have to defend this little area for the night. I'm just going to pause the recording right here, and then we're going to see what we can do in the morning. Alright, so we're off to a little bit of a rough start, but that's okay. We have our axe, and yeah, that was a pretty brutal night. There's still some monsters around here, so I'm just going to try to focus on gathering some wood. Let's find a nice kind of tree here. Because there are different kinds of trees, they actually have different kinds of planks. But yeah, enough lollygagging. We'll just, oh, okay, we have some monsters here. That's okay. Once they start getting into the sun, they'll burn up. This, I believe, is white cedar. Sure, let's start chopping this down. So you see that it takes a lot longer. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's annoying, but just watch that. They just all came down. So that's very... so again, it's more realistic, right? And in being more realistic, it becomes so much more engaging, right? It takes Minecraft's active crafting system of you have items, you arrange them, you put them in, you get them out, and throughout this, and it takes it to the next level. And you guys are going to be seeing that, excuse me, in more and more interesting ways throughout this playthrough. Making myself some stone knives there. I have poles, which are used for... I could make this into sticks if I wanted to, but I don't, because I'm going to want to make a different kind of weapon out of them. And yeah, so the further you go through this game, the more interesting these crafting systems become. This is a very crafting, survival-oriented game, much more than Minecraft is. It nerfs a lot of things that you take for granted in Minecraft. Like, I can't just eat... I'm trying to eat it, I'm right-clicking, I can't just eat this. I have to drink water, which I can do by drinking fresh water. I can't drink non-fresh salt water, which you can tell by the seaweed. Well, sometimes. But you can tell fresh water from the reeds, or whatever you call these things. So, I better start making a house. I'm gonna gather these onions soon. Not quite. I'll just gather one for now. You don't want to have too much at once, because food will decay. You see this green bar? Over time, that will actually get smaller and more yellow and more red, and that means that it's going to be bad for you. It's going to get old. So I'm going to keep them in the ground for as long as I can for now. I'm going to probably settle near here. I'm going to find some clay, because you need clay to start some better... well, we'll see when we get to it. We're going to need clay for like a drinking jug, for example, and eventually for melting down metal. Because you can't just get iron in this game like you normally would. You can't make a stone pickaxe. Have you ever tried smashing through stone with rocks? Can't do it, you guys. Can't do it. So we're gonna need to make a pickaxe in a different way. So I just got a whole bunch of straw. I have some wood here. Why don't we... I'm gonna make a shovel too, because the shovel is gonna be useful for making things out of clay. We're gonna... it's gonna be useful for digging clay. I'm kind of new to this whole Let's Play thing, so I'm gonna be making a lot of strange sentences, because, yeah, this is kind of new to me, but hopefully it'll be enjoyable. Creepers don't seem to be hostile during the day, which is very nice. I do have another waypoint over there for berries, and now you see those creatures here appear to be cows. There's a lot of them. And cows are dangerous, man. Cows are nasty. They can throw you super far. So, I might just lay a trap for them on my way to find clay. Now, it's actually going to be very useful for me to find a cow, because a cow will give me a large rawhide, which I can actually use to make a basic bed. It's an uncomfortable bed, but it's a bed nonetheless. So we're gonna just try to trap this guy. Because if I try to... Oh, I just dug clay. A single clay. Interesting. There might be some clay nearby. That's useful. But I'm not too sure. We'll keep an eye out. Alright. So. I mentioned I wanted to use poles. I'm going to actually make a few more out of these logs. And I'm going to make an equal amount of javelin... I already screwed it up. Javelin heads. These are spears. You can throw them. They have very far range. You don't want to mess with cows from close range. No, sir. So you can just kind of nap these up a bit. And if you can imagine what you think the crafting recipe looks like, for the most part, you can figure it out. Although there is a very intricate wiki, because as we'll see when I start making clay, there's a little bit more to the story than just crafting things. Alright, I'm approaching this guy. How you doing? Are you a bull or are you a lady? I think you're a bull. That doesn't make my life much easier. But check this out, you guys. I'm gonna try to shoot him. And he's on me. He is chasing me, I think. Oh, he looks injured, see? He's a little injured. Now, you'll see from this little experience, they drop quite a lot of food if he doesn't kill me first. Actually, I might trap him right in here. This might be a little bit easier than I thought. I'm gonna use my axe to finish him off here. These guys have a lot of health. Now, this doesn't seem very exciting. I really don't want him to attack me here. But honestly, I've fought these guys before in other worlds, and they are intense, let me tell you. There we go. He finally dropped. Now look at all this stuff, you guys. Like, this is insane. There's so much here. I'm just gonna try. I don't want all of it right now. You might be thinking this is kind of wasteful. Look at how much stuff there is here, but honestly, you guys, like I said, my stuff is gonna decay if I pick all of this up. But there's a lot of stuff here that's very useful. Okay, cool. So we'll pick this stuff up, and I'll just pick up everything. We'll go through them together. All right, so cool. I didn't need this. But all right, we're gonna find a little area here to take a look at a few things. Okay, so lots of meat. I'm gonna go to my little pit here, and I'm just gonna drop all of it. Because all of this stuff, all of this meat, you guys, is gonna decay. It is not going to last me very long at all. I'm only gonna keep 3 of them. There's no use carrying around meat that's just gonna stink up your bag, you know? I have bones and I have sinew. This is a certain kind of string, and you can make some very useful things with it. Now, I'm not going to get real string for a while. So, for now, I'll just be using sinew and maybe some grass string. You can make grass string the same way as you can do flint knapping. Let's see if I remember this recipe. It's something like this. That's wrong. I don't actually need grass right now, but if I did, I'd want to know the recipe. So there are a few things that you do need the wiki for, but the wiki is very intricate and detailed, so it does help you. And I don't need grass string. I just wanted to show you guys the grass crafting. But there is something that I do need to make out of grass. A few things actually. Because you can see I don't know if you can see my cursor if I disabled it in the recording, but you can see in my temperature, it's very much, it's in the light blue, so it's very cold. So I actually need to make clothing to protect myself from the cold. Yeah, you never saw that in good old standard vanilla Minecraft, did you? It's not that hard to make. You just, I think it's this way. Or is that a shirt? That is a shirt, so that won't help me. I'll put it on anyway, so you can see that. I got my Mandalorian skin there. It's a decent show. It's not that good, not that bad. Yeah. So this gives me heat protection. You can see my my temperature bar in the bottom right there is changing. I'm getting more heat resistance from this, which I don't need because it's very cold, not very hot. So I think the shirt was something like this. The cloak, I mean. There you go, the cloak. This is gonna give me some protection. Why can't I wear it? Ah, there we go. Okay, so I can actually wear both if I really wanted to. And that, actually I do need to wear both because just this by itself is going to make me overheat because it's making me too hot. Kind of a strange notion, but interesting, I believe. So we'll just clear out a little area here. Now, I don't want to die from mobs tonight, you guys. I don't know about you, but I think it would be better if we actually survived a little bit. So I'm going to create these thatch blocks, straw blocks, out of the grass. Put 2 down. Now, I can just walk through these, so this isn't a very good building material. Yeah, Terrafirmacraft really likes to mess with you when it comes to stuff like this. You can't really build a house very easily. So I'm gonna put this large rawhide down. What's going on? Come on. It's large rawhide. I should be able to place this down. There we go. I don't know why it took so long. But okay, so now that we've slept through the night, I wanted to let you guys know kind of another example of that dynamic sort of crafting system I was talking about earlier. I had to actually place those objects down in the world, right? And Terrafirmacraft has a ton of that kind of stuff. You put stuff down in the world, and that creates something, whether it's a bed in this case, or something like a pit kiln, like where you can fire your clay, which we'll see if I actually start trying to look for some clay. I'm gonna set a waypoint here. These are very useful if you play Terrafirmacraft. I do recommend getting this waypoint mod. Any waypoint mod that works. We'll make this just a pure white. And let's maybe put down a fire pit. I'll show you guys how to make a fire starter. So you can actually use, you can basically rub 2 sticks together to create a fire. Clear a little area out, maybe use my axe. And let's maybe toss them on the gravel here. Not the axe, on the gravel. We'll kind of, let's see, I have a shovel, so I should be able to dig this gravel a little bit, and we'll just dig it down here. I'll throw down 3 sticks, and I'll light the fire. And I'll put some logs in here, into this little UI on the left here. And you can see this temperature going up. I'm going to cook my onion, because when you cook your food, this isn't even the way that you cook your food in Minecraft. You have various levels of cooked. So right now it's warm, so it's not even close to cooked. But eventually it's going to get hot and very hot, and it's going to actually become considered cooked. And then when it's cooked, I will gain a lot more nutrients from consuming it. Maybe not nutrients, but my hunger bar will go up by a lot more per bite or whatever. And maybe it will also, let's see if this is fresh water. It is not, so this is salt water over here. I kind of put my bed in a not so great place. But yeah, so I think what we'll do now is we're gonna find some clay. We'll try to find some clay. I'm probably gonna move my bed to a better place. Once I cook up my food, my onion's probably burnt because I went away for too long. Let's see, because you can actually burn your food. You don't want to do that. Yeah, it's not quite burned. It's cooked. It's very dark. And that upper bar shows how warm it is. We're going to start cooking the beef. Going to make some lovely steak. And now we'll see that when I eat this, it heals a lot more of my hunger. There, yeah, I think I burned a good chunk of that onion, which is why there's so little of it left. Medium rare is fine. I don't mind. Put this gravel somewhere else. Maybe the dirt, because I don't need it. You don't want to lug around extra items. Now you see I do have a horn. Now this is just kind of like a cool thing that you can do. See, when I cut that, I got a blowing horn and a horn tip. So you can actually play musical instruments. I don't know how well you guys can hear that with the volume down, but it's making music. And also, you can use this to create a much better drinking vessel than what we'll be using for the first little while. So yeah, now the thing with Terrafirmacraft is there is a good bit of waiting involved. So you can do a lot of different things, and eventually once we start getting more into this, we'll have a lot of projects going on at the same time. A lot of very fascinating kinds of things that the developers have come up with. Now he actually has a YouTube account where he actually let's plays it with, I believe, his brother. Hopefully he can. It'll be cool if he watches this video and maybe he can correct me on that if I'm mistaken. Now I'm also very slow because I need to drink some water. What I could do is I can make myself a... I'm just right-clicking on this tree here, and I got pitch, resin. Sorry, you can make pitch out of resin. I'm going to take a pole. I'm going to put some resin on it. I have a wooden staff. Alright, now watch this. I'm moving very slowly. I'm moving a little bit quicker. You can't really tell. Now, this doesn't affect your sprint. It's much better to use built-in speed bonuses like socks. There's socks in this game. They won't drain your stamina, but sprinting drains your hunger. So you don't want to sprint too much. Now, I'm going to start making my way towards my second waypoint. Or maybe we'll just hang out at... Actually, I don't need my home waypoint anymore because I am not going to live there. It's a bad area to live. There's some better places that I can find here. So I'm just going to take home... I'll just turn it off for now. Maybe I'll remove it. Cool. There. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna get some water first, because that's the most important thing. All else is secondary. So I highly recommend you guys get this mod. It's so much fun. There's so many different ways that you can try to survive. I'm in a very cold climate right now. I don't know if it's very cold, but it's somewhat cold. There's not really that many crops around, so that makes it a little bit challenging. My only food is the meat that I found, and the onions that I found. So, there we go. I'm moving much more comfortably now. That is much better. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you are eating. I'm gonna get some rocks because there's always more tools to create. You probably shouldn't be using your staff to beat the rocks, but I couldn't be bothered. I'll get another onion while I'm here. Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. Okay, so those flowers over there, you can actually tell that that is clay. So you know what? I wonder if that might be a better place for me to live. We're gonna swim across, and I'll show you guys how to how to create stuff out of clay, and I think we will call it there, because we're going to try to keep these videos to about half hour or so. We're going to see if there's some clay around here, and if not, we're going to maybe just keep going a little bit farther. There's the clay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful clay. Look at that. Did you see that? I forgot to mention, dirt falls in this game. You can't make dirt huts in this game, you guys. There's no such thing as dirt huts in Terrafirmacraft. Oh, it's wet. And you also don't want to get wet. Because if you get wet, your clothes will get wet. I don't have any clothes on my feet, and I didn't go into the water too deep. That's how detailed this game is, you guys. I'm not going to actually do it. Oh, and there's also bugs, but that's okay. It's made by, like, a small team, so we can forgive them. Alright, so, without further ado, let's get this clay stuff created. I'll just get 5 more pieces of clay so that we can make a bunch of stuff. Oh, now I'm probably soaked. I'm not soaked yet. Cool. Couple more. Good enough. Alright. So the first thing we want to make is a water jug. You make it like that. Alright. The second thing you want to make is a vessel, because we're going to be storing a lot of items as we travel, and we're going to need this to create metal later. On the topic of metal, actually, we can do that later. We'll just make the same thing. It's always good to have an extra of both, because your water jugs can break, and the vessel is just more inventory space. Alright, now, we're going to make what's called a pit kiln, and this is our second multi-item block or something. I'm going to get rid of this just because it's going to be a little extra slot that I don't need just now. We're going to put this here, make sure there's nothing in the area that will burn. And we're going to put our 4 items down. We're going to hold shift and right click. So I'm crouching and I'm pressing right click. So there we go. Those items are now standing down there. Now, in real life, when you fire clay, you have to get a very, very hot temperature. So we're going to stuff this with straw, and we're going to put 8 logs. I need 2 more logs, so I'm going to get rid of this old axe. It's already broken anyway. And I'm going to make a much better one here, and just quickly cut down a tree. So you can see how much detail goes into this game, you guys. This is... Oh, it's just so fascinating to me. I love this game so much. There we go. And I'm gonna use my fire starter. It might not work the first time. There we go. It did work. So now we're gonna let that burn. This is such a nice view, you guys. This is so beautiful. This might just be my my thumbnail. But yeah. So as the sun goes down on our island, thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to discover our fired clay, and we're going to see where our journey takes us next. Thanks for watching. God bless. Tune in for the next video. Check out my devlogs. See you next time.